Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you that how basically we can use Python and basically build a desktop application using Tkinter framework. And you will see basically it allows you to upload multiple files to a particular folder inside our Google Drive. And this is basically this interface out there, and which contains a simple input field. Here we need to enter the folder ID. Folder ID is nothing but whenever you create a folder inside Google Drive, this basically in the URL, this is the actual folder ID. So it basically will upload multiple files to this Google Drive. So it's a simple desktop application. It makes use of the OAuth2 authentication protocol inside Google API. So first of all, I will simply go to the desktop app and simply copy paste my folder ID. And if I click upload file, first of all, as you see, we have this credentials JSON file present inside my machine here. It contains all the necessary information, which is the client ID, project ID. I will show you how to create this file from Google Cloud Console. So here, first of all, we will generate the access token. So with the help of this file, it will automatically detect. As I press the upload button, it will redirect me to this consent screen where you can select any Google account here. Let me select my Google account, and then it will basically ask for the permission. So it will tell you if you are doing it for your own development. If you want to develop this app for protection, you need to submit this app for Google review. At this moment of time, it is not being reviewed, so you can click continue here, and it will basically ask for the permission that this app will see, edit, create and delete all the Google Drive files. You need to grant the permission. Simply click continue, and now basically it will generate this authorization code, guys. So it is saying that please copy this code, switch back to your application and paste it there. So if you see inside our Tkinter application, we have two screens out there. We have this, it is saying to us that please enter the authorization code. So we will simply copy this authorization code, and simply we will paste this authorization code here. And as you paste this authorization code, guys, and click the authorize button, you will now see this token.json file will generate here. As I click the authorize button, you will now see a new file has been generated, which is token.json. It basically contains the access token, guys. You will see access token, refresh token, token URI, which is a client ID, client secret, all that stuff, scopes, expiry date of the access token. So this file is generated, guys. So after doing this, we can simply click the upload file button again. So we have created this folder once again. Click upload file, so it will generate this file chooser window, and I can select here multiple files. Let me select these much of files here, and it will take some time, and after that it will, you can see the files are uploaded here one by one. It will upload, and then basically you will see a window being files uploaded successfully. So all the files that I uploaded, guys, you will see selected is successfully been uploaded. These are the image files. So you are not limited to image files. These files can be anything: video files, normal files, PDF files. So you can upload files to a particular folder in Google Drive. So this is a complete OAuth2 authentication, where we are accessing this data. We are generating the access token, and then we are uploading files to our Google Drive using Tkinter framework inside Python. So let's get started. And first of all, to build this application, guys, we are using a dependency, which is first of all, let me show you how we can do that. pip install, and you need to install this package google-api-python-client. This is the actual package we are using for this dependency, guys. Simply install it. And if you need this full source code, guys, I have given the full source code with the directory structure and the documentation as well. You can go to the description of the video where you can purchase the full source code, and you will get the zip file where, and after that you will get all the directory structure and all the source code as well. So now let's get started. First of all, you need to go to Google Cloud Console, and you should have created an account there. Just a basic project you need to create here. So first of all you need to enable the API here, Google Cloud Console API you need to enable. So go to here API services, and here you need to enable API, which is the actual Google Drive API here. So search for the API, Google Drive API, and enable that API. So simply select this API, click enable, and after that we will generate, go to credentials, and here we will generate the client ID, and in the application type here you need to select here desktop application. Click on create. After you create this, you will now see your client ID, client secret. This will be different for you guys, so don't copy my information. So we need to store this information, and also we need to download this JSON file, which is a client secret file. Simply download this file. We will need this file here. So this file will look something like this, which will contain actual information. So if I open this file, you will see again this file will contain this same information: client ID, project ID, auth URI, token URI. So simply you need to paste this information. Just create a basic file here, which is credentials.json, and simply paste this information. That's all. And after you, let me just delete this token.json and just make a app.py file, guys. We will start from scratch. So first of all, what we need to do here is that we need to import the Tkinter library from TK as TK, and then we will also import from Tkinter, we will import the file dialog library, file dialog, and the message box. So we are just importing all the dependencies that are needed for this application. So from Google API client discovery, we need this module here, which is build module, and from Google underscore auth, OAuth library flow, we need to import installed app flow, and again from this Google OAuth2 credentials, we need to import credentials. C will be capital here. And lastly, from Google API client.http, we need to import media file upload. This is actual class which will be able to upload files to Google Drive. And now we need to also import the built-in dependency operating system. And now we will declare a variable, guys, which will be the scopes. Scopes is nothing but what sort of information that you are accessing from the API. So we only need the drive scope here, which allows to basically read write on Google Drive. And here we will be displaying the token path. So here this file will dynamically get created, which token.json, which will contain the access token, refresh token, and the expiry date. You also need to provide the credentials JSON path as well. So it will be present inside the same directory, credentials JSON. So you'll see we have created this file. So we are just providing the path here. And then we just need to make two variables which will hold the client ID and the client secret. So just paste this information that you see, guys. Simply copy this to paste your client ID and paste your client secret. So these information will be different for you, so don't copy my information. And after this, guys, we will basically build out our window, Tkinter window. So we can use TK, this method TK, and here we can give it a title to the application, that is file upload app. Then we can set the geometry. So 500 width, 500 height, like this. And then we can simply start, I think, yeah, in order to start this application, we can say window main loop. So this will start this application. So if I refresh now, if I run this app, so you will basically, it is saying, sorry, X needs to be small here. So you will see a screen right here. Basically, this is a screen right here. Nothing is there. So we need to create some widgets out there, guys. After you do this, we need to create a widget. So this will be a simple label. In order to create a label, we will use the label class and we will place it on the window object. And here the text we will give here enter folder ID. And we will simply say we will pack it, display it on the screen, and also we will have a input field, guys, where the user will enter the folder ID. So entry widget we will use, and we will again place it on the window, and width here of the input field will be 50, and again we will pack it. So if you just refresh now, basically what will happen here, so we will basically have this input field out there which has where we can write something here, and then basically we will have a button. We will say that upload button, tk button widget, and again we will place it on the window. Text will be upload file, and we will basically put a command variable as well. So whenever we click the button, so command is in Python is on click in JavaScript. So whenever you click the button, what should happen? So we need to provide a function here which is equal to upload file. So we need to now create this function which is upload files. So right here at the top we can create this function. We can create right here. Def upload file. This is a way by which we can declare functions. Def keyword is for definition. So first of all, guys, we will again call a function here which is first of all authenticate the user. So authenticate actually opens a browser where you need to grant the permission. We will make this function authenticate. So first of all, we will say credential, declare a variable to none. And here we will say if operating system dot path exist. So here we are simply checking inside this logic that if the token already exists, in that case we need to initialize the credentials like cr credentials dot from authorized user. So if the access token is already present and if you're opening the app, in that case we will attach this credentials user like this. We are taking the token path and the actual scopes, that's all. And now we will check that if not credentials or not credentials valid. So basically this condition here, it is checking that if the credentials is none, if the credentials not present, or if the credentials are not valid, or if the access token is expired. In both of these cases, in either of these cases, we need to refresh the token. We will say that credentials dot refresh, and we will make the request like this. So this is, in this way you can refresh your access token. And after this we will have an else block. We will make a flow here, installed app flow, and basically from the client secrets file, and here we will basically provide the credentials path. We will also provide a scopes property which is equal to scopes, and the redirect URI is equal to this URI which you need to paste here, which is specifically for desktop applications, URN IETFWG OAuth2 0 2. This needs to be colon 2.0 OOB. This is actual redirect URI, guys, which is used by Google. And after this, what we need to do, we need to construct the auth URL like this: flow.authorization URL, and we will say that prompt is equal to consent. It will be a consent screen shown to you, and now we will open this window inside another window. So we will say top level auth window. We will give it a title to this window. By auth window title, we will say that authorization. We will set the geometry 400 by 200. So basically inside this window, guys, we will have a widget where we need to enter the authorization code which is generated. So we can place it on the auth window, and text will be simply enter the authorization code. So we need to pack this on the screen. So we will use the pack method. So again we will have a entry widget as well, auth entry. So we will again use the entry widget. So here we will place it on the window, auth window, and the width here will be again 50 here. And we will again pack it on the screen here. So now at this moment of time here, if I basically execute the application, so what you will see right here, if I write python app.py, if I now paste the folder ID here, if I paste this folder ID, so what should happen here, it will basically open a URL. If I click upload file, nothing happens here. It is saying that creds, it doesn't have no attribute refresh. Let me see here. Okay, I think we made a mistake here. So inside this if condition, guys, we need to have another if condition if the credentials are not valid, and again a if condition again inside this, and if credentials is expired and credentials has a refresh token, in that case only. So move this line right here. We paste this line here, credentials refresh request. So it typically means that if your refresh token is expired or access token is expired, then we will refresh it using the refresh token. Let me check here. We need to move this code a little bit. Let me tap this code here. Yeah, this is the else condition of this if condition. So if the access token is not expired, and in that case we will again do like this. So again if I refresh this application here, what should, so again you need to go to copy this folder ID. So now it will say that enter the authorization code here. If I So it should redirect you to the authorization code screen. This window is appearing right here, but it is not redirecting you to the consent screen. So we do need to make another function for that. So right here, after you do this, Let me see if we are calling this function exchange code. Let me check where we are calling this function, which is exchange code. Okay, let me see, guys. I think it should redirect you to the consent screen, but it is not doing that. Let me check. Let me write this code here, this function here once again, def authenticate. Once again, I think it is creating some problem here. Sometimes in live coding you can make some errors right here. So if I just paste this function right here, you will see I have written the same code, but you can cross check. The link is given in the description. You can get all the source code. So basically, if I now again open this application, and if I try to paste this so yeah, it basically opens this authorization code here. Okay, so after we call this authenticate method here, we do need to write some more code here. So yeah, after this authenticate line here, we will basically get the folder ID, folder underscore ID, and folder underscore ID entry dot get to actually get the value of the user. And credentials, we will basically call this method authenticate again, authenticate the user, and we will basically build out the service. We will use the build method, and we will use the version 3 of the Google Drive API. And inside credentials, we will pass CRDES credentials. So it takes 3 arguments: the name of the API, the version number, and the actual credentials. So this will build out the service. And now we will get the file paths with the help of file dialog module. File dialog, it basically contains a method ask open file names. So it will prompt the user to select a file to upload. So if the user has selected multiple files, in that case, so we will have if condition. If they selected multiple files, in that case we will iterate through each path like this. We will basically get the actual file name using operating system module, using the base name function. We will pass the file path here. It's a little bit very large script, guys. That's why you're taking a lot of time. So we need to provide the file metadata, which is the actual name of the file. We can get the name using file name. So it also need to basically get this property, which is parents. Parents is actually the folder ID wherever you need to paste your upload your files. So this is, so now we have the media, which is media file upload, which is actual library to basically upload the file to Google Drive. We will provide the file path, and then we will simply say service.files, and create is the actual method basically which will upload the files. We will provide 3 options to it. The body is equal to the file metadata, and the media of body, media underscore body, is equal to the actual file, which is media, and it will return the actual ID of the file which is uploaded, and it now contains the execute method. That's all. So it will one by one upload all the files to your Google Drive. After it is done, it will come out of this for loop and it will display a message to the you, that message box module, show info, that success files uploaded. Files uploaded successfully. You can see that. So after this we can clear out the entry widget, folder ID entry, delete the value which is contained inside it, tk and. So this is the actual app, guys, and I think we missed that function which we need to write here, which will actually generate the access token file. So here token.json is not present. First of all, that file needs to be generated. So right here inside authenticate method, we need to make that file. Let me just search wherever we are calling this function, exchange code. I'm a little bit confused, guys, with this code right here in live stream, where this function is going here. This is authenticate function. After this here, okay, let me just add this code, guys, not to waste your time. The link will be given. If you are still having some doubt, you can basically purchase the full source code of the script. This is a pretty long script right here, so that's why it is having some error. So let me just copy this and I will explain you each of that function. So what it is doing right here, just after inside this function at least. Okay, so this function is contained right inside this function, guys, which is exchange code, and basically it gets the authorization code from the entry field, and basically it generates the access token file here like this, and then basically we have the authorize button right here. So what should happen right here, guys, if I open this now? Okay, let me just delete that line right here from top. And also I need to replace the client ID correctly. Let me paste the client ID. So it's a ready-made script, guys. You just need to replace your client ID and client secret here and download that credentials file. So if I just refresh now, what should happen now? Python app.py, and now you need to enter basically the ID of the folder. Let me create a new folder here, call that as test. It is contained inside another folder. So again I need to copy this ID of the folder. Let me paste it. So now click upload file. So basically now, guys, it will redirect you to the consent screen. So select your Google account and basically click continue. It will basically allow for the permission, simply continue, and it will generate this authorization code. So it will open this authorization code window, simply paste this, and now if you see, basically as you click authorize button, it will generate this token.json file. This will be the access token, refresh token, client ID, and the expiry date. So if we once again click, you can click this much of files, and now one by one your files will get uploaded. You will see that. So once it is uploaded, it will generate a message that all your files have been successfully uploaded. So this is a Tkinter desktop application Python script, guys, that I showed you how to use the Google Drive API to upload multiple files to a folder. It's a fully authentication script, you can go to the description of the video and purchase the full source code. And thank you very much guys for watching this video, and I will be seeing you in the next video. I will be seeing you in the next tutorial.